Hey y'all, Chloe's grandpa. This isn't the video I wanted to make, but I wanted y'all to look at something. Here's my Simplicity lawnmower, needs a starter, right? Has a V-twin, I think it's a 12 horsepower, 12.5, I don't know. There's the steering, all right? And there's the front axle. It's a tube axle with a seam in the front, all right? Now I'm showing you this. Hi everybody, it's Chloe's grandpa. Sorry for moving the camera around, but the video I wanted to make today, okay, the orange tractor we're gonna call the donation tractor for right now. This is the parts tractor. I gotta fix the fence before we get into the lawnmower thing, guys. But this engine might go on that mower. My brother-in-law still doesn't know if he's gonna scrap it or not. All right, but here's the problem with the steering on this mower. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but nothing's moving. And it has the front axles tweaked on it pretty bad. Very soon is gonna be, dang it, I forgot my freaking milk crate. No, I didn't, it's right there. But I did forget my asthma inhaler. But up first is fence work, 100%. I see you, baked potato. The fence work comes first, guys, before I can get into the tractors. I know. The neighbor's dogs hate me. Which is partly why I need to fix up my fence. I'm trying to get there, guys. But this is the tractor we're here to talk about. Cletus, my build tractor. Sorry, I gotta catch my breath, guys. This is horrible. But anyways, I have a tripod for a reason. All right? I know, the view sucks. Oh, you guys are right in the sun, huh? I'm sorry, that was stupid. Don't mind the mess. Part of my problem is that I hate being outside and cleaning and doing everything myself, because I'm getting there, guys. Just give me a second. Oh. Let's see if you guys can stand up. Oh, you guys are a serious slant. Let's see if I can help you. Maybe if I take it down, it won't. I know, but it's my backyard too, home chicken. So, here's what my question is to y'all. Now, you might wonder why this wheelbarrow's there. It's to protect the engine. In a way, yes. More in the way of no, not in the least. It is actually there because that is going to be the hood. I don't know how many of y'all know, but I used to do fence work. And when I started my fencing business, this is the wheelbarrow I used. This wheelbarrow made me a ton of money and started my fencing business. So, I have much love for this wheelbarrow. You know what I mean? So, since this build is going to be my main ride, I want it to be some stuff that I have much love for, and that this is one of them. Now my question being, here, let me take this off. And this is to all my tractor people. I know you're out there. All right? I know you are. This is what we're working with. All right, it's a 14 horse opposed twin. It spins freely. It feels like there's compression. Everything's there. No starter, I don't believe. I think that's what part of the problem is. Yeah, there's no starter. Unless it's in the front, which doesn't make sense to me. But there's this. This is what's here. All right, as I've shown before. Now, here's one of the questions I had about the steering. Is it possible to just take that out and replace it with the other steering shaft from the parts mower? Okay, that's my first question, because I've seen like Mighty Rays and Tennessee Mountain Homestead are both building tractors for the same build off. And they got into the whole suspension front end thing. Now that's cool, except I don't have that much fabrication knowledge as most people would in this thing. But here's my plans on what I want to do. This is going to be all gone, and that's going to be custom, and it's going to be. Here's my question. What I want to do is remove the springs in this thing and make the seat more permanent and lower and up a little bit. Okay? No padding. I'm a man. I don't wear gloves. I'm not going to start having padding on my seat. That's silly. I'm an old man with bad legs, bad back, bad everything. It's going to really hurt me. But that's beside the point. Now, in doing that, I'm going to have to move the steering a little bit. Like, I'm going to have to angle it at a different angle. For one, being that I don't know anything about lawnmowers or tractors or anything like that, is it possible to, if that steering wheel lines up, is it possible to pivot it up? You know what I mean? To where I can get under it better. Okay? Now my other thing is, and here's why I asked that. is I'm a beefy fella and I can spread my legs pretty far, but I'm gonna have to kick them out. My leg for my knee to ride for any amount of time. That's what it has to be. So the axle is going to be moved forward. I'm not going to go through all the suspension and the rack and pinion, and that's simply because any money I have isn't going for lawnmower parts right now. It's more going for my fines. And the ground isn't bad out here, and we're supposed to have some dry days, but I have to honestly get my fence fixed so that I can work back here and not have the neighbors' dogs barking at me. You know what I mean? I don't want to bother the neighbors and bother, you know what I mean? I don't want to bother the whole situation because I want to be out here working on lawnmowers. Now, part of my cleaning up involves weed whacking all this, putting the fence up, and moving everything to the shed and cleaning out the shed so that I have somewhere to work on the shed or work on the lawnmowers in the shed or around the shed is a good area to keep the projects. So before I really get into doing anything more than tearing the engine off of this thing, I really want to move it to the shed before I start working on them. But I wanted to bring past y'all a couple of questions. Okay, one, should I take the engine out of that and put it in this? Okay, here's why I ask. They both would need a starter. This one, okay, because the starter's out in that one. It's a hydro and the rear end is full of fluid, but all it does is make noise. It does nothing but whine when you're driving it and using it. So it's fine, but is it fine? You know what I mean? I could tear it apart and weld that axle to where it's strong enough, or work on getting another axle and just get a starter and have a lawnmower and that be that. See if I can get this one running. My problem is if this doesn't run, either A, I got to buy another engine or take that one out anyways. I want to do a will it run on this thing, on the Cub Cadet, and I want to do a will it run on that. I just haven't figured it out yet. On the old wheel horse over there. Looking so sad. That's all right. Soon, my friends. But that's my question. Should I change the engine? And the front end, should I just run what I have or work at get another axle, a front axle for it? And what axle do you suggest? I know an iron axle would be best, but honestly, it's springtime and parts mowers are outrageously expensive around here. And I was just looking at working with what I have for now. Now that could change later, and you know what I mean? Should I do a will it run on this? But the problem is I got to get a starter. Okay. That in itself is a problem, because then I would have to get a starter for this one. And if it doesn't run, then I don't have, you know what I mean? Then I spent the money on a starter for this one that I could have put the starter money for the starter on that one that I know that engine runs. This one I have no idea. Okay, I'm just thinking common sense, but then common sense would be put the starter on your lawnmower and cut your dang grass. Right? But that being said, I'm going to remove this. I'm going to see what I can do to lower the gas tank I'm going to lower the seat so that I can get a little further forward because I'm a big man. And any acceleration, I'm doing wheelies, whether I want to or not. Okay. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing because wheelies are cool, but they can be terrifying. But I think that's why this is all torn apart, is because they took the starter off of it and the fuel filter and fixed it for that one over there. Well, not the starter, but oh. I'm sorry, guys. But I hate leaving my asthma inhaler in the house. But that's the beginning of my plan. This is going to get cut up because the tires are a little bigger than this I have for the back. The front, I think I'm going to have to go with looking at something to get a bigger front tire on it. That's obvious, right? Because I got 25s to go on the back of this. The ones I put on rims are for this mower. I'm hoping I don't become a problem with the gear shifter being, you know what I mean, right there. Since I want to sit down lower and go forward a little bit. You know what I mean? So I guess I just kind of need help from you tractor people that know what you're doing. That one guy, Isaac, the Murray mechanic, the tractor addict, anyone. Because I'm an idiot and I need help. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a right away thing that I get into this. So I'm making this video and I'm going to, I'm not tagging anyone in it, but I'm going to post it and I'm going to repost it a couple of times in my, on there because I really need help. I'm kind of lost and I don't want to dump out of the competition because I am building a mower regardless. And I want to build this mower because there's things I want to do to it that I can't do to the wheel horse. You know what I mean? It fits me a little better than this, but it's a 3-speed and that's going to be for kicking around here in the yard. This is going to be for taking places and doing stuff until I break it and then I redo it. I got a welder. I got to fix my generator. We have, you know what I mean? I have access to a place that has steel. And once I can start spending money on it, I'm going to start spending money on it. But there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to do, like where the steering wheel goes in, all of that is all going to be made out of that wheelbarrow. I'm going to put a rack on it for whatever dog I get to either that or I'm going to build a rack for the trailer because that's one of the things this dog, when I go, say, to one of these ATV places for the weekend, to ride and make videos, I want to take my dog with me. You know what I mean? So I'm not by myself. Adventures. I'm planning on adventures, or at least working towards getting adventures done. The track, we're going to start working on the track, but like everything else, I got to get my fence fixed and start taking care of all this yard. I need to get out of my yuck The same yuck that made my house a mess made my yard a mess. The same yuck that makes me stop doing things, that makes me, well, you know. But that's going to change. There's a lot of things I'm going to do, like I have to move the brake forward because I'm a long-legged kind of fella. And either that or I'm going to have to move it to the other side simply because, no, I'm going to have to move it that way. There's no choice. It's going to have to go forward. I guess I'll figure that out too, huh? There's a lot of fabrication that I have to do to this that is going to be a basic fabrication kind of thing. And all y'all are going to be like, oh, I built one of those when I was 15, just like it. Well, that may be. But guess what? When I was 15, I was in the woods partying. I wasn't riding one of these. I walked because that way nobody could follow me. I had beer in the stream, so it was always cold. You just pull it out. Yeah, that's what I used to do when I was 15. And then 16, I pretty much ended up on my own. So, yeah, I wasn't building lawnmowers and racing them or anything like that. So, I don't have any experience in that. What I have experience in is useless. Except for fencing. That's not useless. That's just something you really can't do when you're old and broken. But that's beside the point. Now, this tractor, like I said, it's going to be a minute. I have a carburetor for that tractor. I have to take the carburetor off of that tractor. So I did get parts for tractors to work on them, which is great. You know what I mean? I don't even know if you guys can see me. I'm unsure. Oh, good. Well,